thinking about your wonderful street orchestra live, I remember, I think Craig White came to see one of my concerts, and then all of a sudden I just got this wonderful email from him saying, did I want to come and participate with the SOL, the Street Orchestra Live family? And what an experience! I mean, you guys are so full of life, you're active, you're just up for anything, you're into connection and people, and I just loved it.
Great, it was so great having you on board last summer to tour around Colchester and stuff and do all these things. And how versatile you are. You did all these different things. What did we do? We did Puccini, but we did Gershwin and Frank Sinatra.
Yes.
Yeah. So
we did like a bit of pop, a bit of jazz, a bit of opera, some song.
Fly Me to the Moon.
Yes, Fly Me to the Moon. Ruysdael, yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh, we did everything, didn't we? Yeah. But that also shows how versatile the orchestra are as well, doesn't it, really? And how they're just able to turn their hands at anything. But I mean, I will let you explain more about them later, because they are such, I want everybody to meet this orchestra. You know, so are you in? It's 9:01. I've got to start. Sorry. So good morning. I am Nadine Benjamin. I am the intuitive Verdi soprano, and I am a certified NLP mind coach. I'm a certified high performance coach. I'm a healer, and I am also a professional opera singer who loves singing all over the world. And I love connecting, championing, and celebrating people. And this morning, I am joined by Gijs Kramers. And Gijs is active as a viola player, conductor, composer, and arranger. After his viola studies and several masterclasses, he has emerged as a versatile musician and is active in many different areas of European musical life. Lovely to have you here, Gijs. And also, as I always say, please, 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 if you can, and if we are not medics or doctors, and we're not psychiatrists, so these series is just about to give you some extra development and extra support. So if you do need anything of that kind, please reach out for that help, because it is there for you, and we absolutely encourage it. And if there's anyone that you can think of that you can pick up the phone to, do as well, because they might need your help. So Gijs, tell us, how did you get into music?
Really through my family, my parents especially, actually, they're both really fanatical amateur musicians. And so were my grandparents. I did a lot with my grandma. She played the piano. We played a lot together. Anyway, I do remember being little and growing up, going to bed where I was downstairs. My parents were playing chamber music and all that, and they really, I think that really helped a lot. So for me, it was a no-brainer to go and pick up some instrument soon. And it went off. I really enjoyed it, and went to music college, and there you go.
So you went to music college. What was your time like at music college? Did you enjoy that?
Oh, I loved it. It's the best time of my life. Still, when somebody asks me now what was the best time of your life, I think it was probably my early 20s, where you just, it's great. I loved being in music college. There's so many possibilities. We had so much fun, just student life in general, where you could be really creative, but you didn't quite have the responsibilities yet. I really enjoyed that.
It's so funny, because when you talk to a lot of singers, they kind of say that, that maybe that conservatoire life wasn't their best time of their kind of training day. So it's really lovely to kind of listen to someone say, actually, I loved it. It was great. It was one of the best times of my life.
I really enjoyed it.
Morning, Susan. Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you this morning. So you are a really diverse musician, and could you explain the many arms of what you do?
I studied as a viola player. I must say that I always also play the organ and the piano. simultaneously as a kid. And for me, this first of all was a choice that I knew I had to go to music college, but I didn't quite know whether it was going to be for organ or violin. But because I was playing it, I decided to go for violin because I thought it was going to be a very solitary existence otherwise. I'm an organist sitting in churches just playing for weddings and a lot of funerals, like anyway. So violin seemed to be the better choice. And already during my studies, I really embarked on lots of different things. Started playing the double bass. I did a lot of arranging already, and I've also been composing since I was very little, actually. Even on primary school, I wrote an opera already.
No!
It's not very good. It's got 9 acts, and it lasts about 30 minutes, and everybody dies. And completely sounds like star meets gone wrong. But it's like I was always doing things. We actually managed to perform that with my class in the last year of primary school. So that was it was quite fun. We rehearsed every break at school, and then we put it on. And we had another girl who did the direction, and we had some parents making librettos because we found that a bit hard. But it was just a piano, by the way. There's no orchestra there. That was a bit different. But I think we had about 12 people from the class to actually sing roles on stage in the opera. It was called Boreo. He was a very bad villain, like a mix between Frankenstein and Don Giovanni. Anyway.
Oh my God, but that must have kept them captivated.
It was fun. But it was a long time ago. No, I got into conducting a bit later, actually through the Dutch old sister of Street Orchestra Live, the Ricciotti Ensemble in Amsterdam. And also I played in first myself for a long time, and then they asked me to become conductor and directly.
In Amsterdam, so that was a bit quick for us, I think. Good morning, Laurie. Good morning, Tanya. Good morning, Marjorie. Oh, and Laurie is saying hi, love to Vicky.
They'll do that.
So sorry, you were saying the Ricciotti Orchestra?
Ricciotti Ensemble is a street orchestra from Amsterdam. That's been around for a long time. Through them I became conductor as well, and it's something that I picked up a little bit later, but I really found when I started doing it that it was really something that connected to me, and feel quite strongly about. So in the course of starting to do that, I did a lot of master classes and things, and then work started picking up, and started doing more and more things all over the place. So, that was really good. So that's in a nutshell what I'm doing. And in the nighttime hours when you're not performing in normal situations, then at least, I do a lot of arranging for orchestras and a lot of crossover things, but really anything there. So,
Oh my gosh! And how is your time divided up between those things?
In normal situations, I'm just traveling around a lot, and the arranging is something you can do on tour. And it's a pretty hectic system, really. Normally, so this situation is quite a shock to the system in that respect, because I don't think I normally spend more than 2 days in the same place, and I've been in this square 100 yards for almost 2 months now. That was going to be my next question to you, actually, Gijs. Have you been, coping with the present circumstances? Tell us a little bit more about that. Well, it's first of all, it's very strange, and I'm also very glad that we all didn't know what was going to happen when it started. If somebody would have told me on the 12th of March I was going to be in one place for 2 months, I would have probably gone completely mad. First of all, I thought, this is just for a little bit and be quite nice. But anyway, going mad is not the right word, because it's beautiful at the same time. I get the opportunity to spend time with my family, which doesn't happen that often in normal life, so that's a great upside. I must say, I really miss playing live. I miss meeting live people, and embracing people through the arts, through music and all that. That's something that's really unique, and I miss terribly, actually.
I can hear that. It's a huge. I can hear that music, that celebrating music, that actually sharing music has a great depth to your soul.
Well, that's why we do it, I find. And that's we get to that a bit later about the Street Orchestra Live. That's really what Street Orchestra Live is about, the kind of music making. And that's exactly what we can't do now, so that's difficult.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about it in a minute. There's lots of other possibilities though. And I'm usually optimistic and I don't want to be inventive, so we straight away start to look at things that were possible. So with my quartet, we have several really nice projects where we're trying to record from a distance and put our takes together with a video artist. And we're creating a beautiful piece by Terry Riley at the moment, part of a massive quartet that he wrote, which we performed live many times. And now we're making a special video version from lockdown with this amazing video artist from New York, which hopefully we'll be able to release sometime next week.
Oh, brilliant.
And with Street Orchestra Live, we already made a video of the Carmen Overture, piece we've played many times with the whole orchestra from their living rooms right in the beginning of the lockdown period. So we're really quick getting that down. And we're now working on something else. So there's lots of projects going.
You've gone, morning Matthew, morning Gabby, buongiorno. So tell us about this wonderful world that is the Street Orchestra Live. I mean, I've had the privilege of working with you all, but please let everybody else into the world of Street Orchestra Live. How did it start? What is it about? What do you do? Let's have the world.
Street Orchestra Live is something I could talk about for hours. It's the best thing in music, really. First of all, it's based on this Ricciotti Ensemble I was talking about before, the Ricciotti Ensemble from Amsterdam.
Yeah.
It's a street orchestra that was founded in 1970, so that's even older than me. They were going to celebrate their 50 years jubilee this summer, which is now going to be postponed because things are going to be a bit hard. Anyway, I played with them when I was a student on the viola, and straight away in the first rehearsal day, I thought this is the best thing, because it's there's a really beautiful dynamic group. There's so much possible, and I felt like a fish in the water, I don't know if that's a phrase in English, but we said
it is. Fish out of water, I think it is, but yeah.
So it felt perfect, and later on, after I finished my studies, I became their conductor, as I said before. Then I did that for 7 years. Then I was already living in England, and back in England, I thought this is a unique concept, and it really, really works. It's effective. So I started one up in England. It's called Street Orchestra Live. It's been around for 4 years now. But Street Orchestra Live is a 40-piece orchestra, so it's 40 players, and it's basically a chamber orchestra. So we've got woodwinds, a little bit of brass, strings, saxophones, and a rhythm section. So we've got bass guitar and drum kit as well, and we really try to play all styles of music from all times. So we would play early Renaissance, Monteverdi, for instance, whatever, but also contemporary pieces, especially written for us, as abstract as you like, but pop, world music, rock, jazz, punk, you name it. We can literally play everything, so that's really great. Then we go on tour. That's the plan. We do like 2 tours a year. We get together, rehearse hardcore for like 4 or 5 days, and bang like 25 pieces together.
And that is hardcore.
I must say the pieces are short though, because we want to play short pieces to people to really get to everyone as soon as possible, and to not bore people with a whole Bruckner symphony just in case they don't like Bruckner, which is fair enough. So we get bits and bobs. So we would play like a musical, a movement of a Beethoven symphony, but then we would go straight to a Gershwin song, and then take say an African song, and have all this versatility. We rehearse for a few days, and then we start touring. And when we tour, we really tour according to our credo, which is music for everyone, anywhere. So we really, our our mission is to bring music to anybody. And we say every human being has a right of freedom and a lot of things, but also has a right to listen to live symphonic music.
Yes.
And that's why we're there. So we go to meet those people. We go wherever orchestras don't go. We go into prisons, into shopping malls, into swimming pools, into cinemas, shopping centers. Oh, I said that already. Stations, for instance, but also, places like old people's homes, hospitals, schools, and we can really go anywhere. And because we have 40 people only, we're quite concise in a way.
Yeah.
So we need a space of 12 by 6 meters.
Yeah.
No, 8 by 6 only, I think. If we really have to, we can actually be very, very small.
Yeah.
And we stand up to play as well.
Yeah.
So we can just build up in a few minutes from the coach until the first note. And so we can be really, really flexible, really quickly, set up anywhere, and you'll have a full symphony orchestra there in a quarter where you would expect it in just a few minutes. And we go on straight away as well. So that's kind of in a nutshell what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could talk
about
years, but yeah.
One of the things that I loved when I was working with you all is watching all of you play without music in some instances, and you moved when you played.
Yeah.
So you would be without music, but you'd have all these routines as well that would be happening while you play. It's just like, it was amazing.
Yeah, we try to expand, and we what we don't want to be is a boring symphonic orchestra. So we try to break as many rules as we can in this space.
Yeah.
We stand up to play. We don't wear concert dress either. We just wear normal clothes because we really want to be normal people playing to other normal people. We just want to connect with people and embrace our audience and make that connection.
Yeah.
So we move around as well, and yes, we also try to play from memory with the whole orchestra because that enables us to be even freer. And in a practical sense, it also means we can actually set up even quicker.
Yes.
So if we have like a situation where we know 3 different things from memory,
yeah,
we can get out the code straight away, run up, just have to get our instruments out, we can start playing.
Yes.
It's obviously better than we have to fill out music stands and find.
And I love that you test each other, how quickly you can set up as well. That's really
great
as well.
I must say we're still quite far off the Ricciotti Ensemble because the Ricciotti Ensemble has a record of about 1 minute and 20 seconds, I think, for setting up.
Wow.
With music stands, that is, which is absolutely incredible.
Wow.
So maybe sometime in the future we can start trying to compete with that. But,
and in terms of the effectiveness of the work, I mean, I, for one, when I was on, involved in the team, and I want to say that it is a team. There is no one separate. It is a we. Everybody is together, and setting up, setting down, bringing stuff out of the van, bringing stuff off the van. Like, it's that nobody is separate, which is fantastic. But I remember going into the schools and into some of the care homes, and I have to say I was so moved by the effect that the orchestra had on people. I was just blown away by the immediate connection that was, and the immediate change to people, and the excitement, and also people that had dementia, and the way that they were able to just come alive and their minds just completely ignited with the joy and the love and the spirit that the Street Orchestra Live gave.
Yeah, that's true. It's, what if people ask me what's the most valuable thing about Street Orchestra Live or about the Ricciotti Ensemble, which is basically the same kind of mission, is that we really discover what the power of music is, and we really go back to that core of why are we doing this? Because music is such a powerful thing, and especially as professional musicians, we tend to forget that sometimes because we do it all the time. So it becomes the most common thing for us to always have this sound around you and this music. And we sit on the stage, and the audience is miles away, or you can't even see them. There's no connection there, so you kind of like that. You don't really feel that power and that massive force that it can have.
Yeah.
And in street orchestra life, you do reinvent that because you play together. You bring music to places where it's never sounded before. You play to people that will never have seen a real violin in their life, let alone heard a movement of a Beethoven symphony or even a pop song. Whatever. Usually pop songs they hear more often, but this live music, that to actually see it being created in front of them, right in front of them, by normal people that connect to them and draw them into the performance, that really has such a strong power that you don't see anywhere else, to my opinion. That's the most important thing about it.
Yeah.
And to really get this feedback, because people are not prejudiced. They didn't, in most cases, they didn't expect an orchestra to be there, so they're completely like flabbergasted, going like, "What's going on here?" And their reactions are very, very instant and very, very honest. And especially if you play in slightly different environments than concert halls, people are often very direct. And they say, "Oh, that's horrible. Oh, let's do this and that." And also the way we touch people normally, they come back and say, "My God, that is just unbelievable." And the way we can draw people in there. An amazing moment I remember from the very first tour of Soul we did back in 2016. We played in an old care home somewhere in North London, I believe, and we had to go outside because inside there wasn't enough space. So we played outside in the courtyard, and there were, I think, about 12 beds with old people listening to us. And the staff came to us first and said, "Oh, don't expect anything from them because they don't really do very much anymore. They just lie there. They're certainly not going to clap for you. Most of them haven't said a word for years. So, but they will enjoy it. Really, they will." And we played to them, and it was amazing to see the reaction and their eyes lighting up. And we played a song called "Maybe It's Because I'm a Londoner." At the time with Peter Wilcock, our soloist back then. And we finished with that song, the end of the performance. And suddenly when we were singing it, there was an old man in one of the beds that started singing along. And Peter spotted that and brought the microphone over. And that guy sung like pretty much the whole second verse of that song. And afterwards, the nurses came to us and said, "That's unbelievable. He hasn't said a word for more than 6 months." And we just couldn't believe that was happening. And so those kind of experience they make this the best thing in the world.
It's the power. It really is the power of music, and and also the players are really multi-talented as well because they also sing, they also play, they also present. They they are the warmest collective. They are a family, and they really care about each other. And
that's true. Yeah, that's something we really want to offer to our players. We find that really important. We, as Street Orchestra Live, we offer a platform where people can come and join the family and behave like they're in the family. They can expand their talents. They can with us. They can try out anything they want to try out. That has to do with performing and stage. So of course you can play your instruments. You can take solos. You can compose pieces. You can arrange pieces. You can introduce, you can think of funny acts, you can tell a joke, you can sing. Anything is possible, and we're really open for it. And because everybody is open for it, it's a big group that all embrace each other, where everybody feels you have those possibilities that you wouldn't really get anywhere else in this way.
So tell us, do you have any tips for us that we can take out into the world from any of your experiences?
Yeah, that's no question. Tips, especially right now. I'm thinking about a lot of things, which I'm sure a lot of other people are doing as well. In those very strange days, because all the stuff I've just been describing has so much to do with this direct connection, which isn't quite possible now. But it's hard to get through these days. But what a very practical thing that helps totally for me is to have a very strict pattern in my day, because it's tempting in a way to just not do anything, watch 5 films a day, go play games, and eat far too much or whatever. So I'm trying to stick to a rhythm because that helps me through to really be disciplined and getting up at the same time every day. And we've got some kids around here as well, so that's another thing that makes hard quite intense. It makes life quite intense here.
Yes.
So we also have a very strict schedule with them to try to do that. It doesn't always work, but that helps a lot for me.
Yes.
And I think there's not for anybody to. I think it was better for most people to have a strict kind of daily schedule.
Yeah, I mean, I have been saying that from the outside. Just even to have a plan or a light schedule that when they know exactly what they're doing throughout the day. And I'm actually not opposed to people spending 5 hours watching Netflix or films if that's what they want to do. But what I'm more interested in is making sure that people have make it a conscious choice that that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Doing it because they've been into some kind of depression or that. It's just actually I'm making this choice because I know it's going to make me feel better, therefore empowering themselves. But I, like you, am also running a very, a schedule that I'm sticking to because it actually really, really keeps my brain and my mind and my immune system high. Yeah.
No, but for me, it's quite terrible. I always have this drive to do things. I feel like I'm doing many things in music, and that's my mission. So I need to be creative. I need to be doing lots of things. And it's probably part of my Calvinistic upbringing. But I in normal life already, I feel terribly guilty if I don't do useful things for more than 10 minutes. I'm wasting my life here. So
no, it's okay to take a break.
I know. I need to go and do some meditating and all that. But yeah. But in that light, in this period, there's been some challenges definitely. But anyway, to go back to the tips, what I found is that I very strongly felt that the connections I had and the things that I've been working on before all this happened are very strong. And I'm talking to some friends, they're all saying, "Oh, this is completely stopped and this is not happening anymore." And I find all this is pretty terrible, but for lots of things, it's not the end of the world. And I think most things that were running before this happened still exist. They haven't evaporated. They are still there. Your connections are still there. And even though nothing seems to be going on as it used to, quite obviously, it doesn't mean there aren't any possibilities. The people are still there, and the connection is in people's minds, and those people are still around. So you could still get together. You could still work on things that are very much in line with what you used to do.
Yes.
And that's for me been very important. So I've been in touch with most things I've been working on before, and everywhere we've been trying to be creative and find new things, and just think very much outside the box, so to speak.
Yeah.
At the moment.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that thing of, that everything is still in existence. That it's not as if everything has just disappeared. What a wonderful thought process. I think that's a great reminder, Gijs. Thank you so much. So any more? Is that the end of the tips there?
No, I've got silly tips as well, if you like, because of course a bit like this enables you to do things that you've never done before, and I'm sure lots of people have been on crazy workouts or learning all sorts of things they didn't know, and I must say that's a really nice side effect of all this.
Yeah.
So might learn a new language, and I was saying before, I cut my daughter's hair yesterday.
Right.
So that's my second thing as a hairdresser. Maybe I really enjoyed it, and I must say they look pretty good.
Yeah, they do. I saw them.
And, what else? I've learned to hula hoop.
No, I love hula hooping.
It's amazing. It took a long time because it's very, very hard. And then I tried it first, like I can't believe anybody can do this.
Yeah.
And I tried for like 4 weeks, and I just persevered, and in the end, it worked. It's amazing.
Oh.
Both ways. Right.
Wow! So tell us, Gijs, how can we find you?
Well, I've got a website that's called gijskramers.net, which I have to update a little bit, but because there's lots of things that aren't happening anymore. I am obviously.
Sorry, go ahead.
Obviously on the website of Street Orchestra Live, which is the most important, streetorchestra.co.uk. My string quartet back in Amsterdam, Ruysdael Quartet, I'm on that. And I'm also part of the Philharmonia Orchestra, philharmonia.co.uk. Obviously that isn't doing the normal concert at the moment at all, but is also thinking creatively about creating things in the near future in a different format.
So if you send me those, and I can put them all in the comment section for everybody, because that would be great. Sure. And just before you go, have you got any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. No big things, but I'm feeling quite positive because I feel like there is an end to this now in a certain way. As in, especially the last few days back in my country in Holland, where I still do a lot of things. Lockdown rules are being eased a little bit, and we have been talking with my quartet because we run a festival in the beginning of June, and we just realized you can actually put on some very small-scale concerts, and we decided to actually do 4 concerts where you're allowed to have 30 people in one room together.
Oh, wow.
So we're going to do very small concerts and repeat them. And it's just the most beautiful thing to actually realize there is a very small way out here. We're starting to create things and meet people again. And I totally realize we can't be too optimistic about it at all because, we're obviously looking at a situation where you can't do the big concert for a very, very long time from now onwards. But to create these small things is just a tiny bit of beauty that's reappearing, and that's why I'm feeling quite positive since a few days. Don't know if that counts as final thought, but it's
of course it does. It's your positivity, it's your life. It's wonderful.
Yeah. We're moving somewhere again.
Well, Gijs, thank you so much. It's been so lovely having you, really having you. Lovely audience here, lovely listeners. Thank you so much for being here. We are going into the weekend. As we go into the weekend, everybody, I'm just wishing all of you an amazing, amazing weekend, and a weekend of reflection, a weekend of joy, a weekend of play, a weekend of fun, and a weekend of connection. Please, 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 as I say, plan, schedule some of your time so that you get the best out of it, so you empower your mind. If you decide you want to sleep for the whole of the weekend, then sleep. It is your prerogative, it is your right. And, just be with yourself and see the light and the beauty that is within each and every single one of you. I have taken the liberty of giving you all a bonus this weekend because I have done a pre-record with the amazing diva star, fierce woman that is Nelly Mirichoyu. Nelly Mirichoyu Kirk, and she is just a beautiful, beautiful soprano, and she shares her story with us, and I'll be putting that out live tomorrow at 6 p.m. So I'm looking forward to sharing that pre-record live tomorrow. And Tanya, thank you so much. Nice to see you. Susan says, I really enjoy listening about people's lives. Thanks both. Stay safe. You stay safe too, Susan, and everybody stay safe. Thank you so much, Gijs. It's been such a pleasure to have you. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Take care. Have an amazing weekend. Sending you joy. Bye-bye.